The new 4th gen ND Mazda MX-5 has been around for a few years now. So, while it's been quite a hit thanks to its return to form, lightweight platform and modern styling, Mazda did make a few pretty serious mistakes. Here's everything wrong with the new ND MX-5 Miata. First off, let's start with the interior, and you take your phone and your wallet out of your pocket. You hop in to go for a drive. Where do you put your stuff? Nowhere. There's not a suitable spot for the two things that everyone has to carry with them everywhere. It means you either leave them in your pocket or you resort to having them slide around on the passenger footwell. Most cars are keyless nowadays. It's a neat feature, but you still need to put your key somewhere when you get in the car. Some cars have a nice spot for it, like the snazzy start button on most Aston Martins nowadays, to something simpler like a cubby or a pocket somewhere in the center console. But on the ND, nothing. There's really no good location for your key. There's this small thing, but most people don't just have a car key. They also have their house keys, they have their gym tag, they have their second car key, their mate's spare key, and suddenly your jumble of keys has no home. Now, the ND is supposed to be a sports car, right? The seating position should be low and supporting, but it's just not. The seats are too high, they're disappointingly flat, and they lack the sporty feel. They feel like you're sitting on the seat and not in the seat. And the lack of seat height adjustment also means my head constantly rubs on the roof. And speaking of seats, thanks to the frustratingly high seating position, I pull up to a set of lights and I've got no chance of seeing the traffic light. My line of sight is through the top of the windscreen frame and I can't see up at the traffic lights at all. So I make do, a compromise. I get the seat as far back and reclined as I can to sit comfortably in the car. But then I try to grab the steering wheel, there's no reach adjust. The most basic Corolla has reach adjustment on the steering wheel. It really feels like Mazda made the car for one size of person and everyone else just has to compromise. Have you ever seen a normal modern everyday car without a glove box? No, I don't mean some exotic Ferrari. I mean a normal car. An MX-5 is a normal car. Why isn't there a normal glove box? No, I don't count this cubby behind the seat. Why? Well, they're inaccessible in a normal seating position as you have to try and reach behind yourself in an already cramped cabin. It's nowhere near as convenient as a traditional glove box. Mazda thought they would be clever and offer two cup holders that have a simple clip-in mechanism so you can remove them for extra elbow room. They also have a clip on the passenger side knee area so you can move one of the cup holders there. This all seems like a good idea, except they made a silly mistake. I can't remove the one driver side cup holder and put it onto the passenger knee area. Only the passenger cup holder fits on that side. I'm obviously never going to run the cup holder here where my elbow would be, and it stupidly won't fit on the driver's side. So it's completely useless. It would have been much nicer if it were designed so you could run the passenger cup holder here on the console and then the other one on the passenger knee area. Two cup holders in the cabin and neither would impede the driver. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Over to the boot. Mazda skipped on a spare tyre. That's fine. It's been done before by many car makers in recent years, and I think most people can accept the trade-off of no spare for more boot space. But the solution to that problem was this spare tyre kit. The disappointing part of this kit is it's supposed to be secured to this strap in the back for easy access and convenience. Except every time you go for a drive, you stop at your destination and then you come to the boot to put something in there. The spare tyre kit has fallen out of its home and it's been rolling around in your boot. This measly little strap is really not holding the kit in place at all. It's just too small. Back inside, and Mazda were quite clever to make the car automatically drop the windows about halfway down when the roof is manually lowered. This seems like a nice feature, except when you pull up at your destination, shut off your car, then you put the roof up and the windows don't go back up automatically. And you can't put them up with the switches now unless you start the car back up. Now at the very least, they could have allowed for the windows to be operated even if it were just for say 60 seconds after the car is shut down, but instead you have to consciously raise the roof before you stop the car, or you'll end up fighting with the windows and the switches and the power buttons just to put the darn windows back up that you never actually put down in the first place. Next up, take a listen to this. What is that? It sounds rough. It sounds uneventful. There's nothing behind the noise. There's no grunt. There's no meat to go with the potatoes. The sound is just loud and harsh and not smooth or impressive. Thankfully, on the upside, you can kind of fix that with an aftermarket rear muffler. Of course, you may disagree with some of these points, or you may know of some other issues with the ND MX-5 that I may have missed. Or perhaps you just think I'm a big grumpy whiner and I don't know anything about MX-5s. If that's the case, I'd love to hear from you by leaving a comment down below. And if you enjoyed the video, you may want to check out my upcoming video on everything Mazda got right with the new ND MX-5, where I talk about all the great points of this car. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that one. Well, anyway, folks, that's been everything that I think was wrong with the new ND MX-5 Miata. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you at the track.